Number one, I'd love to thank Mark Prosser in Western Carolina for playing us and being part of Game 2, so to speak, here with the Skip Prosser Classic to honor Skip. Obviously, and I've said it before, Skip means a lot to our program, and his legacy is incredible around here, and just how he treated people. Obviously, he was a great coach, but an even better person. And anything we can ever do to honor him, we're going to do. I thought Western Carolina played really well. They scored obviously 21 points there in the first 4-minute war in the second half. They hit 3 threes. They got fouled on a 3 as well. They got off to a hot start, and then I thought our guys really started defending as the half wore on. I think they scored, I believe, 11 points maybe the rest of the last 15 minutes of the game. Our ball screen defense was much better in that last 15 minutes, eliminating the three-point line. I thought we had certain guys step up tonight. We were a little shorthanded. Q played like a senior, and I thought he looked like he had great poise, he had great rhythm, he was confident. I thought he took the right shots. And he had command, and that's what we needed from him tonight. And he stepped up in a big way. Bryce Moore, you look at his stat line, you're going to say, well, hey, he missed some shots. But, man, I thought he made winning play after winning play after winning play on the defensive end. He ended up with 6 steals. Whether it was the jump ball, he was always the first guy to the floor. Every 50-50 ball seemed like he got. And he did some great things for us out there. Obviously, Jason Carter, I thought, started to play with a little bit more confidence, and that's what we need out of Jason. Jason is fully capable of giving us a lot more than he has, and he knows that. He knows that we believe in him. His teammates believe in him. He has to continue to believe in himself, because I think we have to continue to grow his role. And then last but not least, I do want to mention Zach Fremantle. Zach, Tyreke didn't have it going, and Zach, he seems time after time, he's stepped up. And I thought his defense was much better tonight as well. I know he had 13 points, but his defense against Dotson, Dotson's an incredible low post player. I thought he made Dotson really work for his post touches, and we need to continue to, like I said, find ways to get Zach on the floor. We tried to put Zach and Tyreke out there on the floor together for a little bit, and we were getting fried there at the end of the second half. But we'll continue to work on that moving forward.
Travis, how difficult is it to not know what you're going to get every night from every player? Like Tyreke might have a great game, but then tonight, in the last game, he was struggling to shoot close range.
Yeah, he was struggling to finish too tonight. He's 2 of 7 from the field. Tyreke he's a great player, and I got to find a way to make him great, bring that greatness out in him. And so does he. He has to figure that out, right? It's all between his ears, and because he can be the most dominant player on the floor every single time we play. I really believe that. he could average 20 and 20 because he has a gift. He ends up with 11 rebounds. He didn't play very well. But Zach, having the ability, Tyreke didn't play well tonight, obviously. But Zach, the luxury we have is Zach Fremantle, right? He stepped in, stepped up, played terrific, which our team needed that, obviously, tonight.
At what point did you know Nagi wasn't going to be able to go with the stomach virus?
Yeah, he got sick late last night, I guess in the wee hours of the morning. Stomach bug's been going around, at least my wife said that. But, so again, we tried to get him fluids today, and he wanted to play. He wanted to be out there for his teammates. But at the same time, he just couldn't do it. So Dave Fluker, I think, made the final decision probably a couple hours before. So he stayed up at his room just trying to get healthy.
Travis, yesterday in your pregame press conference, you mentioned a conversation that you had with Tyreke and Q where it sounded like you really challenged them, where you talked about their legacy, and they have 3.5 months left here. Was there anything that happened in that conversation that led you to believe that Quentin might respond the way that he did tonight?
I think anytime you challenge a Warrior, they respond, right? They should. And Quentin, he got off to a good start, but he again, I thought defensively he was pretty good. There's a couple times we gambled on Faulkner, and Faulkner's a heck of a player. But I thought overall he's pretty good defensively. And again, if he can engage and focus on the things that he can control, and that's just playing hard, running the show, taking the right shots, because I thought his shots tonight were in rhythm and within the flow of the offense. Not forced, not pressing to try to find offense. I thought he responded in a big way, and obviously we needed everything that he brought to the table, needed all 25 points.
And how nice is it to see that for him, knowing that here's a guy who really hasn't been himself all season? Like, that has to work wonders for between his ears.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Q wants to perform really well, but I always say you have to earn that right every single day. I thought he had a couple really good days of practice leading up. He's got to continue that, obviously, moving forward.
It obviously wasn't a perfect performance. I'm sure that there's things that aren't going to sit well with you. 9 minutes, I think, there in the first half without a field goal. Some defensive lapses, but do you anticipate a good night's sleep on the horizon at all?
Man, I don't know. Probably not. I don't sleep a whole lot, Adam. I do think, like obviously we had 18 turnovers, and Paul almost had he was a little short of points and turnovers. He had 9 points and 8 turnovers. Almost had a double-double. Paul's much better than that. That's why I thought we had a weird feeling going into halftime. We had 11 turns, and he had 6 of them at halftime. And he's got to be a heck of a lot better. Got to take care of the ball. Got to move the ball. And defensively, I keep on thinking about that 4-minute segment there in the second half where they scored 21 points, which I've never heard of, and we've never played a team in all the years I've ever been here at Xavier that scored 21 points in one 4-minute war. That's ridiculous. We got to get that fixed. But I thought our guys made the adjustment. They did. Handled the adversity. We got down by, I think it was about 7. Maybe I'm off a little bit, 50-43 or something like that. And I thought our guys stuck together in the huddle, and they responded in the right way.
The last 11 minutes probably were the best of the game, as you mentioned. But is it difficult to motivate this team at times? Because it seems like they're not always in sync with each other.
Yeah, I thought the turnovers were probably the biggest reason tonight, Shannon. I don't know about motivate. I thought our guys played hard. I don't think it was a lack of effort at all tonight for example, when they scored 21 points. Now, it was a lack of execution on our defensive system. Tyreke, we try to make it a game of 2-on-2 and ball screens a lot of times. And all of a sudden, because Tyreke didn't do his job, well, then Jason all of a sudden had to help on the roll. Then a guy gets a wide open 3, and they rely heavily on the 3-point line. That's who they are. And when we needed to eliminate the 3-point line as much as possible from Western Carolina. But I thought our guys played hard. We got to execute our ball screen defense, which, again, I thought we made that adjustment after the 6th war. But, again, I think offensively it felt weird just because of all the turnovers. And, again, we got to move the ball. They tried to keep it really tight defensively, and we just got to move the ball and reverse it and then attack them.
So as far as ball screen defense, is this a big leap up? I mean, that was a problem against Florida and also at Wake.
Yeah, I thought at Wake it was more a transition defense, Andy. We gave up 28 points in transition, and our shot selection led to that. I thought our ball. In Florida, we were horrific in ball screen D, but tonight I thought we were really good the last 15 minutes. Really, really good. And they hit a couple tough ones. The Faulkner kid hit a tough one on Zach Fremantle, the one up top of the key. We'll live with that. But again, our ball screen defense is the key to half-court defense nowadays because there's so many ball screens being set.
Bryce Moore got the start, and you mentioned his shooting, but he just floor game. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, he's a winner. I mean, he is. He's tough. He plays to win. He makes all the hustle plays, man. We got to find ways to keep him out there on the floor. I just love what he brings. You can hear Bryce. You can hear his urgency and how he talks and communicates on the floor. He's like that quarterback, man. He makes you feel good. Again, he makes all the winning plays. And he was a big, big, big part of the win tonight.
The way he mirrors his guard, I mean, that's pretty elite, isn't it? The way he can adjust to the way that like a good player like Faulkner or whatever.
Yeah, he stays in the place, but he's physical at the same time. He's legal because he shows his hands. He's a pit bull. I think it just all starts with his mentality, and he's got that winning mentality.